I'm James, and you're watching Blue Dog Aquatics. Alright guys, today we're doing something special. Now, when we were at Aquashella Orlando, we had a lot of people asking us what type of enclosures we keep our chameleons in and how we build them and everything. So today, we're going to give you a brief rundown of how to do it for as little as money as possible. I mean, if you're investing in chameleons, you know it's going to be expensive. Just the lighting alone is kind of pricey. And not to mention, these guys. Now, this right here is my Veil Chameleon. She is one of a few that I have. My other ones, you can kind of see my finger right now is bleeding because one of my other chameleons was not wanting to play nice today. So, but it's alright. If you do get bit by a chameleon, just disinfect it and you're good to go. Now, she's a little chunky right now. She's about a year old. She's almost full grown, but you can see, like I said, you can see she's a little chunky, and that's because she has eggs in her right now. So that's why this is her enclosure right here. We have a couple side by side. We have more in the other room, but the big thing with chameleons is you have to give them lots of options. Up here we have lots of vertical and horizontal branches so they can climb to different heights of the enclosure. Also, I try to stay away from fake plants. I use live plants, but make sure to Google because there is a list of recommended safe plants for chameleons. There are ones that are toxic to them. This little girl likes to eat plants. So there was actually a big tree in here and she took out about half of it. Her name is Rio, and this is her little setup. We just have small plants here. We have a little bit of coverage just so we have coverage at all different layers. We're still working on getting some plants up a little bit higher. Right now you can see the mister in the background going. I have that set for every 4 hours just to mist them to make sure that they're drinking and make sure that they're really hydrated. Now up top, I know it's kind of hard to see. We have a long 4-foot light that sits over the entire enclosure, and that's not for the chameleons. That is actually for the plants, and it lightens it up. Now, up a little bit further, we actually have a heat lamp that also is UVB, and that is for the chameleon. One of the big things with chameleons is they need to have that UVB light as well as a heat source. You want the top of the tank, because they are from Madagascar, not her particularly, but they like that humid moisture, and the range of temperature can vary. Now the top of the tanks we have set out about 90 to 100 degrees, and it goes all the way down toward the bottom of the tank where it's about 70 degrees. And that way, if she gets too hot, she can go cool down, and then also when she's hunting for food. Now with chameleons, they are insectivores, so they love insects. Her in particular, I know it's not good for her, she loves hornworts. We've had a couple of chameleons right now that have refused to eat, so we want to make sure that, and I know that they all love hornworts. Hornworms are, one second, I can show you here. Hopefully she doesn't dig in. They're just little worms, but they are packed full of moisture and water, and so that is ideally a great way to rehydrate a chameleon. You never want to let these guys get dehydrated. They'll start, from what I've gathered with it, when they get dehydrated, they'll kind of shut down. Their colors will fade out, and their eyes aren't open a whole lot. I'm dealing with that with one chameleon right now. You guys know him, the captain. He's a little sick right now because he did a little escape on us. He actually got out of his enclosure. You can see how dark his colors are right now. So we don't know if he got into something. He was only out for about 10 minutes, but that was 10 minutes I didn't have eyes on him. So right now we're treating him with supplements, with vitamin A and everything. We have a lot of different supplements that we're pushing into him to make sure that he can kind of bounce back. I don't know yet if he's going to be at Aquashella Chicago. It really depends on his health. If he's still kind of in the clumps, which I hope he isn't, we will bring a different chameleon with us, maybe her. We also, our female over here, we're not going to disturb her. She got bred recently by the captain, so she's kind of been in a mood, you know. He had his way with her, and now she's upset because he can't see her anymore. That might be it too. You know, if you have any ideas on ways to help the captain get better, drop a comment down below. Also, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this channel. Now, a couple more things about the enclosures. Now, this is one big setup here. We have locks on all the doors. We have screen meshing here. Now, in between the chameleons, we have it's a type of plastic. We have vent holes through it, but chameleons don't exactly like each other, so they don't like seeing each other. When a male and female, let's say for example the Panther Chameleons, when they get into their groove and they see each other, they'll do their little dance and everything, and then they'll lock. Now with that, if you don't want one getting revved up versus the other, then you put these dividers in where they can't see each other. And mainly because this little girl doesn't like the captain. We had him out just temporarily. We were redoing her setup, and she climbed up on his screen and tried biting him through the screen. So, but I will tell you, Rio here, I love her colors. She's got blue and yellow. These yellow spots are actually new. She's got all kinds of colors. She loves looking around. She's a great eater. Now, one thing with chameleons, if you hold them, they do have, and I'm not going to pull up her feet. We might be able to zoom in a little bit on her claws. Now, most people think that you want to go through right away and, oh man, their claws hurt, this and that. Well, their claws are supposed to be long, and that's so that they can grip all kinds of terrain, whether it's a tree or it's a branch or anything like that, and that way they don't fall. If you trim them, it's harder for them to stay balanced. These guys are extremely strong. They can lock on. They have little padded double feet, and they can hold on for dear life. They can actually, this tail is insane how much strength it has. They'll wrap it around something. You can see her wrapping it around my hand right now just to stabilize herself. Now, more back on the enclosure. We got little pieces of everything. We got ash in here. We got bamboo. I just wanted to make sure that she had as many places to feed. We also have a feeding dish in here. She wild feeds, so what that means is I put them in there and then they slowly crawl out, but normally once I put them in there, she's been trained where if there's food in there, she'll beat the cricket out of the bin. Now, down in her bottom, like I said, she's holding eggs right now. I don't know if they're fertile. I don't have a male Veil, so I'm pretty sure that her eggs are infertile. But we still want to make sure to get those out of her so she doesn't become egg bound. Egg bound is when the eggs outgrow her. When chameleons, when they're getting ready to lay their eggs, it has to be the perfect setup, the perfect soil, the perfect everything. Otherwise, they won't lay. And what happens is the eggs get too large where they can't pass them, and they become egg bound, and it can actually become deadly if you're not careful. Now, so what we have is, I mean, we do have other substrate in here. It's actual substrate, And I wish this bin wasn't in the way because she's actually dug a tunnel all the way around the back just so I can't reach it. But I put a lay bin in here, so it's a mixture of topsoil and play sand. It just makes it where she can dig if she wants, and she actually has been in here quite a bit, so I'm hoping that she lays soon. We also, because these sides are, chameleons need a lot of ventilation, and you know, the side two chameleons, they have plenty of ventilation because of the screening and everything, but the Veil in here in the middle doesn't. She has it on the top and on the front and these little holes. So what I actually have is I have an air line that's directly in here that's pumping air directly into her enclosure so that she gets the proper airflow. Now, what's going on up top, I have everything set up on a timer. The lights shut off. They're on from about 8 a.m. until 9. That way these guys can cool down in the evening. In the evenings, you don't want your temperatures to drop below like 60 to 70 degrees. Like I said, they are from Madagascar, so they do like that kind of warmer weather. Now over here, what I have running, sorry about that, is I have the Mist King system running. And what that's doing is that's pumping in every single chameleon enclosure that we have in this room, and we got a lovely water spigot in the middle so that it's easy just to keep topping it off. We're running it a little bit right now just to make sure that our chameleons get water. I like to visually see them get water, that way I know that they're drinking. But that's about it. The lighting and everything is going to be your, like I said, that's going to be your expensive part. You can buy the 125 watt UVBs and heat bulb combined, and that's going to be about, I think I paid $56 a bulb for it. So like I said, it adds up. You also, if you have live plants, which I recommend, you want to make sure that you have an overhead light for those chameleons. Now, when we put the overhead light in, we had to make sure that the chameleons figured out that the small bulb is what's actually good for them, and so we had to keep, when we introduced them to this new setup, we actually had to keep moving them over to the proper light, and they figured out, oh yeah, this is the light I'm supposed to sit underneath. Because they do need, and I do actually take my chameleons outside, make sure that you have a good grip on them, because they get down, they can move very quickly. Just to give them that natural light, I do it about twice a week. Yes, they have the proper lighting and everything in this enclosure, but nothing beats an actual UV rays from the sun. So, yeah, there's that. This whole enclosure here was about $400 or $500, and includes the hinges and everything. We did a nice flat black look on it. We also have a drain down here, and there's actually drains underneath each one. So if one enclosure gets too much moisture, which I kind of find it hard the way I have my system run, but it can happen, and that's just my overflow. So if there is too much water and I can see it, then I can open that valve and drain the excess water. Now, I know you can't see it in the bottom here for as far as the substrate. What I have is I actually have bivalves underneath the substrate. That way they can hold on to the moisture, hold on to the humidity, and keep everything moving efficiently. Are you just chilling out, girl? Or you want to go back? She loves coming out and seeing everybody. But I don't want her to miss her little cycle. She likes chilling way up in the top. Now, when you're breeding chameleons, the only time you're going to see them in the bottom near the substrate is if they're getting ready to lay eggs. Otherwise, they're arboreal animals, and so they want to be up in the treetops. They want to be way up where no one can see them, which is, it's a downside of a chameleon because it can be difficult to see them. But I leave openings up enough where I can visually see them and inspect them. We actually have cameras on this girl over here. I'm not even gonna, oh, actually we can zoom in on her. She is right there. This is one of my new females. She doesn't have a name yet, so if you want to give her a name, drop a comment down below. She also has a lay bin in here, and like I said, she has a camera over here, and the reason we did that is because when a chameleon lays eggs, if you don't know exactly where she laid them, you got to be so careful. It's like archaeology. You have to be very careful on how you dig up those eggs. And it's also nice to know exactly where the eggs are. But, so with that being said, we'll close her up. We'll open up the captain's cage and see if he's wanting to play nice. You can see him. His colors are still good. He's kind of in a mood lately, so he's just been basking underneath the UV light. We're really hoping that it isn't something major, that he got into something while he was out. But we're literally taking it one day at a time. He's also got a camera on him on the side over here, and that's so that we can keep 24-hour observation on him. You can kind of see he is a little bit bigger, so everything that he has in here as far as his enclosure is a little bit more spread out, so he's not jamming himself through everything. He does have a feed dish too, but he likes the wild caught. But yeah, keep him in your mind, keep him in your prayers and everything. He's hanging in there. It'd be really sad if we lost him, but like I said, we're taking it one day at a time with him. Now upcoming, we have some pretty big news coming up pretty soon, so I'll leave you in suspense for that. We got something huge coming up, and we're really excited for it. We also have Aquashella Chicago coming up in August. That's the 14th and 15th. So if you don't have tickets already, make sure to do that. Drop by the booth, say hi. We did last time. We had a guy come up and he's like, oh, I saw your YouTube video, and that's a really awesome feeling. Also, we are officially launching Blue Dog Reptiles. So we actually, right now we don't have a whole lot. We're still setting up a lot. We have a little bearded dragon up here. Her name is Miss Piggy, because she really is. We do have a Savannah down here, Savannah monitor. It's a little one, and I'm not even going to bother her because she's buried in. But stay tuned for upcoming videos. We're still going to include shrimp and aquatic fish and everything like that, but we're also now including everything as far as reptiles. So watch out for those. If there's anything you want to see as far as husbandry on different reptiles or aquatic fish, let us know. Drop a comment down below. Sorry, thought I heard a noise. And that's what happens if you don't pay attention to your waterfall. You overfill it. It's alright. Don't ever put carpet in a fish room. I did not think that one through. I thought, oh, it'll be nice and it'll look clean. No, it is awful. And trust me, here shortly, it'll probably be getting ripped out and it'll just be bare. So, like I said, it's the official Blue Dog Aquatics welcomes Blue Dog Reptiles. We're super excited. There's a lot of parts moving forward, so stay tuned for that. Also, like I said, bear with us. We're still doing a lot of work to our website, so if there's issues where something's not loading, give us a little bit of time. We are adding a lot of livestock and a lot of changes to the website. If you want something directly, you can email us at sales@bluedogaquatics.org. Also remember, the website is www.bluedogaquatics.org. That way you guys have that. Also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Blue Dog Aquatics. We'll have all the links down below for you guys. And as always, the big question, your tank or mine.